You need to first have humility, because if you have a good coach, he, she, they, them are going to humble you within the first couple of conversations when you tell them your dreams, your goals, your aspirations. And when they start asking questions and getting to the root of why you want to do a certain thing, it's going to humble you. Hi, I am Bridgett Robinson. I am an HR executive and a course instructor for the Black in HR.
Hi, Bridgett. I'm so happy to introduce you today to talk on our podcast. You're my former SHRM instructor, and I'm just so happy that you could talk to us today. You're a key feature in Black in HR, and I would definitely say you're one of the main reasons I joined Black in HR by looking at the LinkedIn profile and Facebook. So can you talk to us about your professional background and what you do exactly in Black in HR?
Of course. First, thank you so much for having me here. I am excited to share any and everything with you all today. So like you said, a little bit about my background. I've been in HR a little over 16 years now in various roles, executive level leadership roles in HR as well. With the Black in HR, I wear a couple of hats, coaching, consulting, like you mentioned, the SHRM certification prep courses. I'm an instructor for that. And literally anything that they need or ask of me, I'm just that servant type of leader. And I have a passion for the members of the Black in HR. So wherever I'm needed, I jump in.
Of course. And I would love to brag about how great our SHRM course is because I passed on the first try. Yay! So back to the conversation, excuse me. But you mentioned that you're an instructor, you're a consultant, and a coach for Black in HR.
Yes.
But how did you get so involved, and why is this community so important to you?
I originally got involved just searching for a community that looked like me, that was in the human resources space, because throughout my entire career, I have always been the one and only, you know what I mean, in that room. I've always been the only female or the only Black person. And I never had that connection in my corporate roles. So I turned to Facebook looking for a community of like-minded individuals. And I found the Black in HR and I became active. And that's one thing I will tell people, speak up. Get active. And so in doing so, the creator of the Black in HR reached out to me one day, and just by chance, I responded. I was like, oh, okay, that's not weird at all. So I responded, and from there, I just said yes. Whatever I was asked, if I had the capacity, I said yes. And in doing that, it's just been an ongoing relationship that we've built, and I couldn't be happier.
Definitely that Facebook group can be a time, and I always go to it whenever I need a laugh, whenever I need a pick me up, whenever I think my job is hard. I look on that Facebook page and I'm like, ooh, they got it a lot worse than I do. One of the biggest misconceptions about Black in HR is it's only for people that are in the HR industry. I can see why people think that based on the name, and I'll look at it as an organization that is built to develop, grow, and promote Black professionals of all fields and backgrounds. Yeah. How do you see Black in HR influencing growing in the next coming years?
Well, I believe it might have started out with that thought process of, hey, we're just supporting Black professionals in the HR space. But as time evolved and the group has evolved, more and more professionals from different industries and different parts of, corporate America have joined, because we all play a part in people management at some level, right? And so that's what the Black in HR is there for, is to support those that manage people, that manage the human capital for their workforce. I just see it continuing to evolve of where people of all different backgrounds are in there, they're getting guidance, they're getting better understanding, because if only HR knows how to manage people properly, then we're doing the world a disservice, right? I need the manager of IT to understand how to properly manage his team. I need the CEO, to understand how to really communicate and talk to people. And so we've got to spread that wealth of knowledge that we have as HR professionals. And I just see the group continually to open up and let people like that embrace what they don't know and be open to what we know and imparting that on them.
As an HR executive of having 16 years of experience, I am positive that you have seen a lot of different changes and techniques. And I wanted to know what you would recommend an early career professional. What should they do to stay competitive?
Oh my goodness. Early career professionals, I highly recommend that you get a coach as soon as possible. And I don't say that lightly as in, oh, this is just a suggestion. I think it is a pivotal part of your career growth. It is a tool in your toolbox that everybody must have. Even in, we have the industry of sports. Yes, they have coaches that are paid there, but a lot of people that are dynamic in sports, they have coaches that specialize in the particular area, right? That they see all, off the side. As HR professionals or any professional in your industry, if you want to be great, if you want to go to that next level, you definitely need somebody that is giving you guidance, giving you direction, and it's not just coming from your supervisor or your boss. You've got to be in control of your career. And in order to do that, you've got to know where you're going to go, where you want to go. And you've got to know how to get there. Your coach is going to help you do that. So I think that is, if you don't do anything else, you figure out how to get your hands on a coach at the very beginning of your career. So you don't make a lot of the same mistakes that a great majority of us did early on in our careers. You don't have to do that. There are so many people out here that will help guide you the right way.
I think it's great that you pointed back to how everyone has a coach. Everyone has that resource that they can look to for guidance and for just to mainly expand their plan and their goals. What would you say is a common benefit for having a coach? I know I did interview prep, but I'm thinking about getting a coach myself as I further on in my HR profession as well.
The common benefit, it may be something you're not thinking of, but to me, the common benefit of having a coach is gaining clarity. And the reason why clarity is so important is because if your brain is clouded with, I want to do this, or I want to do that, or I want to go this direction, and you're thinking about so much, yet you're not moving forward, then you're not going to accomplish anything. So getting a coach, they are going to remove a lot of those clouds, right? They're going to help you get a little bit more grounded, gain clarity, and in that clarity, you're able to simplify where you want to go, what the next step is, and really list out what your journey is on your career. Whether that be, I'm going to go to the left today, but I plan on, in 3 weeks, I'm going to switch and go to the right. At least now you have a timeline and you have a path, and that coach is going to help you be able to, like I said, clear all that dust that's going on in your head, all that clutter, and give you that clarity.
Yeah, I would say I'm pretty cluttered. As a senior HR journalist, I'm like, do I want to go to HR immigration?
Yes.
Do I want to do employee relations? Do I want to be an HR business partner? Do I want to be a VP? And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I definitely think I need a coach. So I'll talk to you after this. What type of advice would you give a new Black employee to be their authentic self for a company that might not have those safe spaces? I've been there. I've been in corporate America since the age of 14, and I just remember, of course, walking to those rooms, being very nervous and just scared to really show who I am.
Yeah, I would say first and foremost, you need to be observant. Before you are ready to just start jumping in and speaking up and, really fighting for what's right and all of that stuff, it's very important to sit back and be quiet and be observant. Find out who are the movers and shakers in the room? Who are the people that everybody leans to for advice? Or who is the person that when, everybody's in the room and that person walks in, there's a hush? You want to really figure out, again, who are those key people at that company? And you want to figure out kind of what their mindset is, because what you don't want to do is alienate yourself. And it's really easy to do with people of color to go in thinking, I'm going to be my full, authentic self 100%, and they have to accept that.
Right.
Yes, they should accept that. But we know, Crystal, that that's not the truth. But the other part of that is my controversial view on your authentic self coming to work. I look at it like this. When you apply for a job, you're looking at a job description. Mm-hmm. That is a role that you're going to play. And this is the role that they're paying for. They can't afford your authentic self. You're nowhere listed on that job description. Who you really are at the true heart and core of you, you're not listed on that job description. And so what we do is we give ourselves undue heartache and hurt because they're not accepting all of those lovely pieces of us. That's not what they were looking for. And so what I have learned to do over the course of my career is to keep it about business. I don't make it personal. I give you the role that you're paying me for. And at the end of the day, I can go home and I be who I truly am. Now, does that mean that I'm faking and putting on the mask and all that? Sometimes you have to, but that's not me all day, every day. But I also understand that, again, they can't afford my true whole heart. So I give them what they're paying for.
That's right. Yeah. I know earlier you mentioned talking about mindset and having that proper mindset. What mindset should you have before obtaining a coach? And what should someone expect to learn from working with a coach?
You need to first have humility, because if you have a good coach, he, she, they, them are going to humble you within the first couple of conversations. When you tell them your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, and when they start asking questions and getting to the root of why you want to do a certain thing, it's going to humble you. Even in situations where you're with other professionals that are at different levels, you have to have a spirit of, humility. I've been there as well, even recently, expressing to someone about a goal that I had in mind. Oh, I want to go back to school and do X, Y, and Z. And the questions that they asked kind of humbled me to where I was like, well, maybe that really doesn't make sense. Maybe I am just doing this out of vanity because I may want some extra letters behind my name. So I would say go in with the mindset of just being humble and not being so stricken to what you think you want, because the goal of the coach is to open your mind, is to broaden your thought process and to really get you to where you're going to thrive in life. And that may not be what you're thinking when you go into the room. So that's what I would say.
I love that you said that, opening your mind.
Yeah.
I think you have to be just very transparent and be able to roll with the punches when you have a coach. What type of person will a coach not work for? What do you think a person should go through before considering a coach?
Mm-hmm. So being on both sides, I am a coach and I have a coach. So, I have the perspective of both sides of it. So being a coach, I would say you have to be self-aware, because not everybody is ready for a coach. We all need them, but that doesn't mean you're necessarily ready for a coach. Going back to the humility, if you don't have the spirit of humility and you can't be open to what someone else is, has to say about maybe your goal or your vision, you're not ready. If you can't look back over the course of your career or your life and kind of think about all the things that people said or the feedback, the areas of opportunity that people have given you, if you can't look back at all of that and say, okay, I made some course corrections here or I made some course corrections there, then you're not ready for a coach. Because if people have been telling you day after day, career after career, job after job, that one particular area is an area of opportunity for you and you've never done anything about it, you're not going to do anything about it when the coach tells you that as well. So you've got to be prepared for change. Change is hard. Change is difficult. Change is something that a lot of people struggle with. Me, I struggle and I will question you up and down on whether I should be changing and doing something different because I'm comfortable in what I'm already doing. But a coach is going to make you change. It's not to make you stay complacent and in the same area that you're in. It's to evoke change in your life. So you have to be able to change, to be able to shift, to be able to pivot. And again, just being open. You've got to be open-minded. You can't be stuck in the past, and you can't be so hell-bent on what you say you want your goal to be that you're not flexible. So if that's your mentality and you're self-aware, you know that, you're not ready for a coach.
Mm. Yeah, I think that you mentioned some very important points there. Mm-hmm. It's all about evolving and being your best self. I know you mentioned you had a coach, and with you being a top-level HR executive, I would love to know the best advice your coach gave you about growing as a professional.
The best advice that my coach gave me, recently, I was finishing up a cycle with a coach that I have, and we were having one of our last conversations, and he said to me, I think professionally, your head is on right. You've overcome imposter syndrome at certain professional levels. Now it's time to really take your mental and your physical to the next level. And this doesn't have anything to do with what you do day to day for work. So he told me to embark on a journey of finding something outside of work that could fulfill me holistically. And he suggested Taekwondo. I know, it sounds weird. You're like, what? Am I going to be in a dojo? I am. I'm in a dojo once a week and working with individuals there. And when I tell you it has strengthened me mentally and physically to where when challenges come up at work, I'm not ready to fight. I could if I needed to, but I don't have to take it there. But mentally, I am so much stronger, and I am able to just have my emotions under control at a level that sometimes it even scares me. It's like, oh, wow, I didn't freak out about that. I didn't scream and, go have to tell somebody off because they did something. Mm-hmm. It helps me be more under control. And again, it has nothing to do with my job. I'm not in a leadership program to learn this or anything like that, but I'm able to take those principles and I'm able to apply them to my everyday work. And I'm telling you, it has helped me take my career to another level.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Welcome.
I personally play tennis and I love to go to Pilates, so that kind of keeps me sane throughout the week as well.
Yes, we've got to find something outside of our 9 to 5, outside of our corporate job, again, that has nothing to do with that is going to enrich our lives. Because if we don't, then we're just living for our jobs, and that's the wrong mentality to have.
Self-care. I noticed that has been something that has been circulating among the African-American community. So yes. I'm glad you mentioned that. So, of course, it's been a pleasure. I have made it to my last question.
Okay.
Do you have any advice for someone wondering if the value of coaching with Black in HR is worth the price?
Oh, my goodness. I would just say, do it. You already know what it feels like not to have a coach, and you know where you are without a coach, right? So you know where you want to go. In order to get there, you need to invest in yourself. It's not a scam. It's not someone that's just sitting around just trying to tell you a bunch of, whatever. These are people who are in leadership levels, who have been where these individuals are now, who have been where they want to go, who are going in places that you can't even imagine. I mean, we have some coaches and executive leaders in the Black in HR who are making salaries that even I am like, wait, we can ask for that? And so even at my level, I'm like, okay, I need to work with him as a coach. I need to work with this person. So it is well worth it. If you want to advance in life, in your career, whatever, you've got to invest in yourself. The freebies, the handouts, the watching things on YouTube, that's all well and good, but that's not going to get you where you need to go. All you have to do, honestly, is look around to whoever you admire, whoever your hero is, whether it's Oprah or, President Obama, whoever. Every last one of those individuals has a coach or have had a coach in some capacity, or they coach others. This is just something, again, it's a tool to have in your toolbox that's really going to help you get where you need to go. And I would be one to really say, you will get to your goal a lot faster and more prepared if you invest in a coach versus spending years trying to figure it out on your own. So.
Well, Bridgett, after that, I think I'm ready to take it to the next step. So I'm ready to book my session.
I welcome it. Let's do it. Listen, again, just being open-minded when you come in the door. Don't have your feelings on your sleeve to get offended because, your coach may not agree with everything you say. And that's because you're paying them to coach you, not paying them to agree with you. You're paying them to challenge you, to get you to the next level. So you've got to be moldable, you got to be flexible, and you've got to be ready. Okay? So that's what I would say. Make sure you're ready and don't waste your own money. Don't waste the coach's time because they are there because they want you to succeed and they're going to do everything that they can do to make sure that happens.
Perfect, Bridgett. I'm ready. Thank you so much for stopping with us today. And I hope you have an amazing day.
You're absolutely welcome. Anytime. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Bridgett.
You're welcome.